Hi guys and welcome to Bomb Anime.
It's your girl Ruka.
And Big Boy Simon here bringing you our episode of Chainsaw Man. Oh my god, this is so anticipated. I couldn't wait for this episode.
So they didn't want us to forget about the emotions that we were feeling in the last episode. They actually did a mini replay of the end of the last episode and continued it on from there. Very good choice. I found that Denji is becoming more and more chaotic every time he transforms into the Chainsaw Man. His personality divide is getting larger, and it's almost like he's starting to behave the way we first were introduced to Power. She was very manic, only caring about the kill, and now we're seeing Chainsaw Man develop into that.
That's very true. I mean, like, my guy was looking hella crazy. The way that he lifted up his hands in the air while his chainsaw was in the air and scraped the ceiling just to go down for that strike. The way that he was moving erratically. The way that he was willing to kill a hostage. I'm not sure he was willing to kill him, but the fact that he used a hostage as well, that's not really like Denji, really. Also, that kick to the face of one of them guys, jeez, that was kind of deep. And then that elbow to the back of the head. Ooh. If you're not trying to kill him, I think he's doing a bad job there, mate, because that was kind of dangerous still.
Although he's becoming more chaotic, he's also becoming more strategic as he fights. Even though it does seem very chaotic, he's noticing where opponents are coming at him from multiple directions and responding to it in time. So he's got the speed and everything. But in this episode, we also got some more confirmed deaths and also found out some of the people that are still alive, Maki and Kobeni being two of those people. And let's just get into both of these characters.
So let's start with Kobeni. Oh my gosh, Kobeni. Jeez, I didn't know you had them moves, girl. I think you were right. It was a decision between the two, because girls got moves.
You're ridiculous.
But seriously, like, she went into some like crazy trance state, started dodging bullets like the Matrix, running up a snake, killing things. Bruv, the way that she wielded the gun was better than the gun guys. Like, it was mad. You know what? I don't like Kobeni, but Kobeni, you got mad props, sis. Mad props.
So Arai is confirmed dead. He actually took a bullet for Kobeni, and in a half-crazed state, she killed the murderer and then hunted down Saratori and Knifeface. And as you were saying, she was going in. It was making me think, how does she first suddenly have a beast mode? Where was this when they were trapped in the hotel? Like, I am kind of confused that she even has this in her. And then number two, what is her contract? And does that have something to do with how she could move the way that she could? She said it was a secret. It's giving me I can see slightly into the future by a few seconds vibes. Is this what she could do? Is that how she was avoiding all the bullets? Is that how she could actually use Denji's chainsaw to deflect bullets? It was a lot.
To be honest, Himeno even said it in a few episodes ago that Kobeni has the power to be a good safety officer, I guess, but she just didn't have the mental capacity for it. I did not see not having the mental capacity for it today, but she did break down and she did finally apologize. So I'm kind of like, you know, I'm moving her slightly towards the good books. No, she's not in the good books, but she's moving towards it because she did apologize. She did seem sincere as well. She was clearly heartbroken about the whole situation. And the line that said that she was going to tell Himeno that she's quitting, oh, that was harsh.
Yeah, knowing that Himeno is dead. So we have this weird change in character. I do understand the whole mental capacity. It's not actually necessary that she breaks down, but it's the state that she fights in is very crazed. You could see it in the facial expressions. Her face looked almost deformed. It didn't quite look like Kobeni.
No.
So I really like the way that the artistic change happened to show that as well. The whole thing is just really sad. I'm glad that she apologized as well. That was one of the main problems I had with her behavior, the way that she just hurt a bunch of people and then just said, oh, it's not my fault. It's Denji's fault somehow. and just wouldn't take any accountability. She's taken the accountability and she's very upset. She can't even apologize to Arai for what she did to him during that time because now he's gone. And they were both thinking about leaving, and now one of them
has left.
Yeah, I mean, what a retirement plan. So I really liked the scenes that they showed us of all of the dead members of the public safety department, because the shots in themselves were very reminiscent of crime scene photos, 100%. And that was such a good touch. It really brought the horror to life of it, and the way their bodies were just crumpled in odd positions. It felt very realistic how someone would have actually dropped dead, and it was such a human way to die. Like in anime, we're used to seeing monsters and demons, and this show has demons in it, but here we had humans dying at the hands of other humans by guns, and it just somehow feels worse than seeing all of the massive gory scenes. It just really speaks to you in that way.
Yeah, it was a lot. I mean, like, even like, let's look at the music that they use as well. The way that the whole keys changed and the music slowed down as they were showing the crime scenes. It basically invoked all the emotions that it needed to. They did a really great job of conveying exactly what they wanted to do here. It's a mini masterpiece. But on the brighter note, Makima came and saved the day.
Yes, that's interesting. Let's talk about that. So Makima somehow survived 2 gunshots to the head.
Pop, pop.
And then she lied to fellow public safety members and said that she had not gotten shot and that none of the blood on her was her own. Also, the people who she retaliated against had massive holes in their body. It looked like it could only be created by something powerful like a shotgun or like some kind of high caliber weapon. But considering that we have Makima here, it kind of felt like she had put her fist through them. It looked like she put her fist through their bodies. The thing is, I didn't see on the floor like any organs or intestines or anything. What the fuck?
Them circles were too perfect. I'm not even sure she used her fist. I feel like she did a Kamehameha. Skewed all 4 of them. Boom, boom, boom. Straight down the line. Zoop. They crumpled each way, like it was mad. I don't know, but all I'm saying is these 2 women, yeah, you don't want to get on their bad side. Makima just tell someone to say your name and then she twists her hands and your head twists and then you explode. Like, what the was that?
They did suggest that this was from a contract that she has. I am still not convinced that she is human, and to be honest, this episode just furthers my belief that she can make people say things. Those people were convicts. They weren't told why they were there. They were just driven up to this shrine, and then she tells them to say a name. Now, they might be blindfolded, but everyone can hear. And no one refused to say it. No one refused to say the name. Nobody asked why. Like, that's kind of one of the first things that a human wants to ask. Like, you've been put on your knees, you're blindfolded. This doesn't feel right. Like, it already feels very execution style. People are not that dumb to not realize that you are blindfolded, put on your knees, and then told to do something. Come on now. No one asked why. No one said, what you gonna do to me? Nobody asked any questions. They just did exactly what she said. It's making me think that I am right and that Makima can somehow, even if it's just slight, have some form of control over your actions or maybe sway your thoughts somehow. Like something along those lines. I am even more adamant now than I was before because it just looks like it, man. Come on. I can't be the only one thinking this.
Okay, let me be the antagonist here. Because I always am, and you know, it's fun. Look, if you are blindfolded, put on your knees, hands tied behind your back, and someone tells you to do something, you're just gonna do it. Because with the same logic that you're saying that, it feels executioner style, yes it does. So if someone's telling me, yo, tell me your social security number for the American people, or tell me your PIN code to your bank card, the answer is the 4 digits. Do you get what I mean?
I completely agree with you. However, there was also no fear. Now, there would be some form of emotion. If someone is doing that execution style and they're telling you to give them something, you're going to do it because what?
Because you don't want to die.
Yeah, because you're afraid. But there was no sign of that in any of these people. They just said it and died.
Yeah, but she had that soft voice. And plus, we don't know. Plus, we don't know if they died. All we know is that they fell over. We don't know.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if they died or not, because that's a moot point. That does not even... The end result doesn't have to be anything. It's the fact that she's told them to say something under these conditions, no fear, and they just did it. Like you said, they just did it. Whatever, I'm gonna leave it here until I'm proved correct. Come on, Chainsaw Man, redeem me, please.
I just want to know, what contract does these two ladies have, and where can I find the devil to get a contract to? Because, I mean, it looked pretty fun.
So in doing this, Makima has wiped out most of the bad guys, except for the main people. Knife Face, to me, really feels unnatural.
What do you mean?
I don't know, it's something about like the handle sticking out of the back of his head. It just all feels very messy, especially when you compare him to Chainsaw Man and the way that his body is. Power doesn't have any real augmentation of her body. Hers is more like flowy. His feels very unnatural, as if maybe he was made or somehow tampered with. He doesn't feel like he happened naturally. Even the way that the transformation happens, it kind of falls off of his face, like almost like clay onto the floor.
Yes,
I haven't seen anything like that. It just feels very weird, and the blood is blue.
They said that.
There's just a lot going on. And then also Khan again said it was weird. I don't think Khan would have said that if it was a fiend that he had bitten into, because he would have had some experience with fiends. He said that this was weird, and he just seemed like he didn't even know what he was. So it's giving me very lab created Frankenstein's monster. Yeah,
it was crazy. It was a bit but okay, I've got two questions. First question is, where the was Power? Second
she ran off.
Yeah,
they said she ran off. She could have ran to get help, maybe. Ran to save her life.
What, the bloodthirsty blood demon?
She said that she couldn't even see the guy's movements. She had no dog in this fight. She couldn't do anything. Himeno's dead. Aki's on the floor dying. Genji's cut in half. Like, everything's going back. What is she gonna do? What is she gonna do? Maybe she just ran home to get her cat.
Fair enough. Second question. Did Makima allow this to happen in order to get total control of all the divisions?
Now, that seems very likely, because when she was asked by, I think it's Makoda, the person who quit, he said, did you know about this? And she said, I don't share information with civilians. It kind of felt like you could have just said, no, I didn't know about this. You chose not to say that, Makima. And now all of the divisions have to go down into one. So it feels like it's a definite possibility. It might not be the case, but it's definitely a possibility that they knew of it. Not just her, but the higher ups knew that this was going to happen. But then if that was the case, wouldn't she have already had the 30 criminals lined up waiting for her?
Or wouldn't she already be in charge of all divisions everywhere anyway? Like, if the higher ups knew, they would have just put her in charge if that was the aim. Do you get what I mean? Like, I'm more inclined to think that it's a Makima power play than any higher ups sort of power play.
Do you know what I want to know? How did she know their names?
Ooh.
She knew first and last name.
The crows?
The crows can see and probably hear, but were they all saying their first and last names all together in a circle? No. The crows appear. The crow appeared, and within a few moments, people were splatting like pancakes.
Splat.
So, you know, we had Overlord. No, seriously, how did she know their names?
That's a very genius question.
Unless that crow is another contracted demon of some sort.
Guys, this episode was sick for me. So, Ruka, what do you rate this episode out of 10?
This episode was a really good episode. I would give it a 9 out of 10. I did like the shots, but it just wasn't as good as last episode, I would say. But it was still a really solid episode, and it also gave us a lot of questions for the future that I just know this season is not going to cover. Oh God, they better not leave me on a cliffhanger or I'm gonna be mad.
I give it a solid 8.5. Like Ruka said, it wasn't as good as last episode, and it's a very good episode, and it's the perfect episode to follow last episode, I think. So yeah, solid 8.5 for me. Ruka's gone for 9. Look, guys, you know where we are. Bomb Anime Insta. And if you want to leave anything in the comments, feel free. You know we love you.
Peace.